Hello, everybody. I got there's some news here. I don't know if everybody's seen it or not, but we're gonna go right to it. Um, I'm hoping this will share. It does. Okay. All right. The court having before it the defendant's motion to file the memorandum in support of motion to dismiss indictment under seal and good cause appearing now therefore. It is hereby ordered that the memorandum in support of motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct and withholding exculpatory evidence shall be filed under seal pursuant to ICAR, blah, blah, blah. What do you guys think of that? I'm not there yet here. Hold on. I'm getting there. Hey, Boogie, how you doing? 32 to 63. Oh, hi, Wendy. Yep, good to see you. What are you guys thinking of this? This is about. Can you guys hear me okay and everything? Let me know about this because I got a new mic here and a new setup. Yes, same here. 32. Yes. Can you hear me okay? Everybody hear me? Let me know if you hear me. Yeah, I am Boogie. But this is too big a news not to stop what I'm doing and do this. Can you guys hear me? Yes. All right. Cool. All right. Good. 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 Yeah, I was expecting this for quite a while actually, and I'm surprised it didn't come sooner. Um, Kind of a weird uh, timing of it. After yesterday's motion and everything. Now this is a motion and a order, so I mean, yeah, I was expecting this, and in my opinion, this case is going to be dismissed because they can't go into trial like this, not giving them the defense the evidence that they have for number one. Or what I should say is evidence they don't have. And I think that's what they're hiding. They don't have anything. They listed on, in my opinion, they listed on the PCA the evidence they have. If the only other evidence they might have is uh, video footage of a car. I don't think they got the license plate. They might have got the license plate when he took off from the house, but I don't think they got the license plate anywhere near that house. And I think the prosecution knows this. Opinions out there, guys. Let me hear your opinions. Boogie, right? A monsoon. Okay, I'm hoping it's not too loud. I'll try to be quiet because I'm not used to this here yet. Hi, Brooke, Scarlett. Um, what's your guys' opinion on this? Do you think it's going to be dismissed, or is it just part of the game? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking, Sandra. Yeah. Um, I've been having a problem with this case since day one, and I think all of us have, or most of us anyway. Yep, I agree, Scarlett. I think it's going to be at what point I don't know. Right, Boogie, and I hope this isn't like a game, because uh, I know a lot of people lost faith yesterday, and I think Anne knows that. And I hope this just isn't a game to get our hopes back up, if you know what I mean. The feds, they're not really involved anymore, you know. Hi, Bad Wolf. How you doing, girl? Yeah, the games can kind of be sucky. Um, I hope they're not. I hope it's good. Hey, Pappy man, how you doing there, brother? Good to see you, man. What do you think of the new file? The new filing? All right, it does me too. I mean, I've never seen anything like this. Devil doll, my beautiful girl. How's tricks? Tricks are good. Tricks are for tricks are for kids. Actually, Pappy man, I was expecting this because I actually thought that she would do this a long, long time ago. Because I really don't think the prosecution has anything. I think what they have in there, um, no, no. I think what they have in the PCA is what we got, except for maybe a couple shots in the camera of a white Elantra. I think that's all they got. Here, let me share some of these here. If the defense can demonstrate prosecution's content without withholding the grand jury indictment will be dismissed. Yeah, that's what I'm. That's my opinion too. He didn't miss much, Ron. I just got on here a few minutes ago. I read the I read the new filing. Maybe I should put that up again and maybe read it one more time. I'll just read it. The court having before it the defendant's motion to file the memorandum in support of motion to dismiss indictment under seal and good cause appearing now therefore. It is hereby ordered that the memorandum in support of motion to dismiss indictment on grounds of biased grand jury, inadmissible evidence, lack of sufficient evidence, and prosecutorial misconduct and withholding exculpatory evidence, geez, shall be filed under seal pursuant to blah 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 blah. Oh, that was a tough one. I did better the first time. Hey, War Eagle. Oh, I got to get War Eagle. Is he in here? I got to get his opinion on this too. Let me catch up on the reading here. You're right. Yeah, you didn't miss much, War Eagle. But what do you think of the filing? What's that, War Eagle? So the case here. Let me put this up here. So Tommy, the case she cited in her motion is about a witness who was promised something in exchange for their. Oh, are you fucking serious? And that's a fact. I mean, that's a. Where'd you hear this? Devil doll, right? Are you joking, Morgan? You're not joking, right? I don't think he's joking. Where's the link? Or are you joking? Okay, gotcha. Yes, War Eagle. Boogie. It's up on the screen, Pappy. All right, let me see. How am I gonna? Whoops. Um. Okay. Why can I not get? I don't know how to get to that link from inside here. Wait a minute. Maybe I gotta go to. Hold on. Okay. So this. So something new apparently came up. Um, and that's why she filed. Is that correct? I'm not. I can't see chat right now. By the way, I'm waiting for this. Okay, there it is. That's what I'm. Okay, and I'll share this here. All right, wait a minute. That's Illinois. Napu versus Illinois. What is this about, dude? Let me read this for a second. Yeah, but how do you know that? Okay, hold on here. How do you, War Eagle? How do you know that that's what's happening here with this case? She told Judge Essay she was going to be filing these motions. She cited 24 reasons to dismiss. See, I'm kind of behind a little bit, War Eagle, because I haven't been on. You know what I mean? She cited that case in her motion to dismiss it. She cited this case. All right, then I'm going to share this. I'm going to share the screen, and then you'll all be able to see it. Okay, here's thanks to War Eagle here. Uh, this is it right here. Okay, let me see if can you guys see that now? Is it? Yeah. Okay. Um, I'll read it here if you guys want me to. I'm not. It seems like I'm not very good at reading today, but at petitioner's trial in a state court in which he was convicted of murder, the principal state witness, an accomplice, then serving a 199-year sentence for the same murder, testified in response to a question by the assistant state attorney that he had received no promise of consideration in return for his testimony. The assistant state attorney had in fact promised him consideration, but he did nothing to correct the witness's false testimony. The jury was apprised, however, that a public defender had promised to do what he could do for the witness. Hell, the failure of the prosecutor to correct the testimony of the witness, which he knew to be false, denied petitioner due process of law in violation of the 14th Amendment. Boy, if they got proof of this, he almost has to throw this out. The established principle that a state may not knowingly use false testimony to obtain a tainted conviction does not cease to apply merely because a false testimony goes only to the credibility of the witness. Blah, blah, blah. The fact that the jury was apprised of other grounds for believing that the witness may have had an interest in testifying against petitioner was not sufficient to turn what was otherwise a tainted trial into a fair one. Since petitioner claims denial of his rights under the federal Constitution, this court was not bound by the factual conclusion reached by the Illinois Supreme Court. but re-examined for itself the evidentiary basis on which the conclusion was founded. Blah 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 blah. Okay, this is quite. There's a lot of reading here. I'm not going to get into all this here, but if this is true, this is gonna this. He. What do you think, War Eagle? Is he going to have to dismiss this case? Okay, let me see what Pappy Man has to say here. So they're saying someone testified against BK in the secret grand jury, and that person who was promised something in exchange for their testimony. Oh, under prosecutorial misconduct argument. Wow, this is huge news. Exactly, Bad Wolf. Exactly. That's true too. That's true too, War Eagle. Ooh, ooh. I think you probably nailed that on the head, War Eagle. That could be what's going on. That and or Bethany, because she's supposed to have exculpatory evidence. Hey, I said it. I thought I was saying Rory Devil Dog. Yeah, I think War Eagle's got this down. That and Pappy Man. Hey, Rory, you're here. You want to come up, bro? There's a link there for you, Rory. Or wait a minute, I got. I'm not used to this yet. Here, where am I? Oh, Sarge is here too. Okay, now I'm starting to see all of it. All right, I was on the wrong screen. I'm getting there, guys. Have patience. I'm trying to get to where I can. What the hell's going on here? I got to refresh. Yeah, this is quite something, man. I think it's going to get dismissed. What do you think, Sarge? Rory, what do you think? Okay, my computer is acting really slow. I can't get the chat to give you a link. Why is this acting so slow? Okay, I'm going to close this. There we go. Rory and Sarge, there's a link there, bros. Hey, Sarge, what you doing, brother?
I shop for my electronics at electronic stores. Apparently, you go to Kmart.
Yeah, right. Why is it really loud out there or something? What's the deal?
What's going on? Did you see he filed a motion to dismiss his attorney?
What's that?
Koberger has filed a motion to dismiss.
Right. Yeah. That's what this that's what this is all about. I read the document. And that's what we're discussing now. And then
I didn't know.
War Eagle cited a case that one with the Illinois deal that this is based on. Let me see if I can find this here.
I think this is why Dylan and Betsy's testimony are different. I'm going to go back just to see.
All right. I'm going to go get my headphones because it just works better. I'll be right back here, guys.
All right. So what case did War? I'm going back in time here. She called that case in her motion to dismiss the indictment. I'm looking. She told the judge yesterday she was going to file these motions. She cited 24 reasons to dismiss.
Right. Right. And War Eagle, I got to find my history here.
He's got a link he sent to open, right?
Yep. Yep. Is Rory in here yet or no?
Yeah. Boone versus Supreme Court.
It's a Illinois case. Where the hell do you find your? Oh, maybe here. History. There we go. All right, I got it, and I'll share that. It's coming. It's coming. Okay, right there it is. And I read part of this. You see that okay, Sarge? You there, Sarge? What happened to Sarge?
There you go. Am I in there? I'm in there. You just can't hear Thomas. Tommy Two Gun. The Tominator with the puppet.
Okay. You guys hear me?
Now I can.
Okay.
Tominator with the puppet.
The only thing is, I can't. You guys hear me?
Now
Yeah.
I can.
Okay.
Tominator with the puppet.
I got you. Okay. I can't. You guys hear me?
Now I can.
Yeah, what's up, Tommy? How you doing, man?
I got you. Oh, there.
Yeah, what's up, Tommy? How you doing?
Okay. What's going on? Someone is that me echoing or something?
I think that's you feeding back.
Oh, wait a minute. I got to remove something here. Probably. What do I got to remove? Or is there... Oh, no, it's not doing that now. Okay. You guys hear me okay and everything? All right. Well, anyway, this is what what that's about. That NAP2 versus Illinois.
Yes, the Pew.
Pew.
Pepe Pew.
Inspector, what's up, Goo?
There's an inspector in here too? Okay, well, let's see if I can get to what's this. Oh, yeah.
So, and Taylor says, "I've had enough. We're out of here." Right?
Yeah. She's gonna get it dismissed, I think. What do you guys think?
Oh, I don't know about that.
Depends on the argument she puts forward, and there's a whole bunch of reasons to dismiss this case.
Yes,
wow.
there is.
And the fact that the exculpatory evidence that's unique to Bethany has yet, that may have been a reason not to present it to a grand jury. Just be aware. Like I told you before, when I was a painter and I robbed that apartment and my fingerprints were on hinges, okay? That information prevented any presentation to a grand jury because it's such strong, reasonable doubt that even if I robbed it, they would have to know that they'd have a hard time overcoming that argument
because your fingerprints are already there. Yeah,
they were supposed
Right.
to be there. I was the painter. You see?
Oh,
So whatever Bethany has, if it contradicts anything, then that should have been reason not to even bring the indictment. Do you follow me?
no, I agree. So
Right.
here's what I asked earlier: was what is her possible exculpatory evidence that would be pertinent to only the defense? What would she have to say that would only benefit Brian Koberger?
well, I think it has something to do with her getting something for her testimony.
I think it places him outside the timeline of 4
Exactly.
to 425.
Exactly. He's not
It places
there.
it outside of
He's
that.
somewhere. He's somewhere else. Exactly.
And she.
Well, why would
she's
she
gonna
know
say,
that?
She's going to say that she heard things
Exactly. Why
between
would she
3
know
and
that?
4 o'clock in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that contradicts the telephone conversations, but that
Absolutely.
in fact may have led to the telephone texting between her and Dylan. You follow me?
Oh, right.
You see, so they're using their phones to say this is when the murder happened, but she may have in fact said between 3 and 4 in the morning there was all kinds of ruckus up there. Right? She may have said that to the police,
Right.
and they may have taken it down, but they've never given it to Brian.
And that would be
that would mean all those videos of the cars and the pings are just more masturbation material.
Right.
For Santa Claus, because he needs to find somebody guilty.
Santa got laid in years. Yeah, Miss Claus is not giving it up, but
Sandy's got himself the first Woody he's had in 43 years.
Okay, so then you have to ask yourself: is Bethany there? And what if did she see anything? Did she? Okay, I don't care what she saw. What did she hear? Okay, did she hear? Did she hear the supposed "I'm here to help you"? Did she hear the thud? Did she hear the dog playing at 4 a.m.? Did she hear all of that? Is if she says anything else other than that, we got a huge problem, right?
Right.
Well, no, they do. I mean, they like we keep
not
telling
us. Yeah, we're fine. But yeah,
they built
or that the timing was different,
Exactly. The
timeline.
Maybe
it wasn't 4. Maybe it was 3.
Mm-hmm.
Does he have no connection to anyone in that house, or no connection to only the victims? Was he dropping Bethany off at that time of the morning?
How would they know that Bethany's got exculpatory evidence?
Because they were able to see the police reports. Brady Gigolo. We keep forgetting that exists. For some reason, they brought up Brady Gigolo. Never explained it.
Right.
What do you mean, Brady Gigolo? What's that got to do with Brian Koberger's case? Why is it in this case? We know they got those issues in other cases, right?
Right.
So,
So Brady Giglio implies that an officer, I don't want to say planned, but didn't follow the chain of command, correct? Is that kind of what I understand what Brady Giglio is, or what is it?
Okay, Brady discloses when the prosecutors provide to the defense any evidence that is favorable to the defendant.
Okay. What is that background noise?
That's War Eagle. War Eagle, you got something going on in the background, bro. Okay, that's
okay. So in Brady versus Maryland, the United States Supreme Court held that prosecutors must provide exculpatory information to defense counsel. And in Giglio, it extended the holding to include information suggesting a witness may not be credible.
Ah, that's what it was. Okay, that's what it was.
Right.
Yes, and that's what this case is about in the pew, from the little bit I've read. I've sped read through it somewhat.
You know what the sad thing is if he is guilty.
That's the worst thing of all, but that should be hopefully. Listen, the best thing that can happen from that is Americans wake up and realize just the ineptitude and corruption that's running their system.
I agree.
Right.
You know,
Right.
it's not a political thing. It's a reality thing that these drug cartels and these criminals have infiltrated so deep into our bureaucracy that it's like unbelievable
Right.
what they're getting away with, right?
Yep.
So, you know, some people believe in one thing, some people believe in another, but what is right? Is it right to let that border flood millions of people in here and put them on food stamps? Is that the right thing to do?
Nope.
I would say if those people were under bombardment or at war, absolutely. But for the sake of doing it, no.
No. Yeah. No.
And the fact is, that's where all these three.
Well, the problem is they're not taking the proper steps. Is what the problem is. They're not
Right.
taking
They're just hopping the border and just coming in and not.
Right.
But they're hiding all their smuggling amongst all of that mass movement too. That's the other issue that comes along with that. So these innocent people, good people, more likely than anybody, as good as anybody, right? They're human beings.
Right.
And they're causing this chaos at the border. They're being pushed up through this border, being offered, you know, they're almost being offered to come here by our own government. And along with that offering comes all the fentanyl that you could kill entire communities with. And all
most of that's made in China. Then it goes to Mexico, and they put it together, and then it comes up.
Correct. And it comes up.
But you know what? I'm gonna say this though. Most of the drugs that come across that border come through on trucks, and they're let through. They're let through.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, bro.
No, I'm not going to argue that point. But look, at the fact is, they do lose 360,000 kids down there a year.
Right.
Right.
Well, I understand that, but
right. I think the sex trade is
that's just on record.
Yeah, it's just Tommy. The whole situation has got. Listen. It's not political. It's a matter of right and wrong.
Well, it is political. Right? It is a political.
Well,
it's a political buckfest. It's a political buckfest, man.
Because they work for the bureaucracy. They let the criminals do what the criminals want to do. And they're supposed to be working for you and me. They're supposed to be over there with a goddamn 2x4 fixing those houses in Hawaii. Instead, they're funding wars. It's just crazy.
I don't want to get too political.
I realize that, but it's not even the politics of it. It's the bureaucracy. They do it right in front of our face. Look at this Kohlberger case. It's crazy what they're doing here.
Right.
An American citizen, man.
But the politics there has been going on for decades and decades, and that's universities. And the drug scene has been going on for decades and decades, and it doesn't matter which president or who's in there. It doesn't matter if it's Republican or Democrat. It's all the same.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying it's not politics. Everything gets framed into politics to be shut up. But the bottom line is, when you say it's political and force it to be shut up, it ends the conversation and nothing changes. It's infuriating. Listen, it's the bureaucracy that allows these trucks to come through. It ain't the president of the United States waving them on.
No, he wouldn't do that. But there's people on the border that are letting it through the border patrol.
Right.
Just letting it through. Yeah.
And it's in that bureaucracy where the place needs to be cleaned out. Look at how these cops are handling Kohlberg. They send FBI agents to go talk to a woman that testified. You got to be joking me.
Who was it? Was it War Eagle or War Eagle? Was it you that said that you thought it was Dylan?
Yeah. Hi guys.
Hey, go ahead.
I know you guys think I'm a dude, but I'm not.
That's so funny. I was just thinking that. Yes.
Right?
No, everybody does. It's so funny.
Well, because you had the Alabama football thing, so I was like, oh, it's
Auburn.
And your name is War Eagle.
Auburn.
Right.
Yeah, that's my team.
Your name is War Eagle. That's like the chief of a tribe.
Well, that's my football team. That's our battle cry.
Okay,
I'll be right back.
War Eagle. Oh, okay. Right on. That's cool. Right on.
Okay, what did you ask me? I forgot.
To speak your mind.
Well, can you guys hear me okay?
Yeah,
More than okay. Yeah.
Okay, I won't talk so loud. Well, I'm really, really interested in this because she filed this. She cited this case under the prosecutorial misconduct section of the motion, and there is nothing else in this case besides that specific thing. There was a witness, there was two guys, and they both got arrested, and one of them basically like turned state's evidence on the other one for a deal. And the prosecution lied about it and said, no, we didn't offer him anything. And the case ended up getting overturned because of it. And so that's the reason that she put this case in there. So it has to be that, because there's no other thing that happened in that case besides that, offering somebody a deal for their testimony.
Right.
So, I mean, there aren't any witnesses to anything in this case. I mean, I 100% think that if there had been any witnesses, we would have known about it in the PCA. I just can't see them leaving something that big out.
Now, listen, if you go look at any indictment, go look at the Gigolo, or whatever that stupid name is. Go look at that indictment. It's 50 pages. You don't leave nothing out of a probable cause affidavit. You whack that person with every bit of data you got until there's no more ink in your machine. And then say, Your Honor, we'd like to get it in a warrant to arrest this guy. Right? So if there's 500 reasons, you put in 501 if you can.
Exactly. And this PCA was how many pages? I mean, everybody said it was like the longest PCA they've ever seen. You know. Yeah, I mean, everybody was saying it's the longest PCA they've ever seen. They were talking about how long it was. So the only person we know who was a witness was Dylan. And we've all questioned. We have all questioned Dylan's testimony. Why? Because it doesn't make any sense. It never has. So to me, I've always thought that her testimony was coerced. I felt like, we know she waited like 8 hours to call 911 and all that. So I mean, they had a lot they could hold over her head and threaten her with because of that and other things. And I'm sure that she was just going to say whatever they wanted her to say. So if they basically wrote her statement for her, which is what I believe happened.
Well, I think Stark brought up a good point with that the other day where he said she could have said, I don't know, I saw some guy in black. And then the officer says, oh, so he was clad in black? And she could have answered, yeah, something like that.
I think it's more... I think this is more about the prosecutorial misconduct by withholding exculpatory evidence.
Exactly.
It could be that too. It's just that the fact that she cited this case in there, which is specifically about, the witness thing, makes me question that. And I think it's about both, to be honest with you. Yeah. And I think also she's including in that exculpatory evidence, I think she's also including the 3 unidentified DNA samples that they don't have.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Right.
I think this is what this is all about. This is a 3 unidentified, unqualified, whatever the hell you want to say they're called. The prosecution, I'm very sure, knew this a long time ago. And they decided to push because Brian Koberger's was the most, I don't know, I don't want to say identifiable, but I guess it's the one that came back first, had the strongest connection. I don't know.
They saw the pings in the car videos. They tried to match those two things together somehow.
They're pushing a narrative. They're pushing a timeline.
Yes, and then here comes this guy that's been doing this for his entire time he's been down there. Exactly. Lo and behold, he's now their suspect, and they're gonna build a case around him. Mm-hmm. And they're going to direct testimony, and they're going to send evidence like I was just watching reading another bit about how you could take a DNA sample and create any identity from it you want. Okay, this is in scientific journals. This was released in 2009. That you don't even need the suspect's DNA profile to create their profile. You just need a name. Then you hunt the genealogical databases, and then you put together a profile that matches your desired target.
Yeah,
that's kind of what that lady was trying to say the other day.
And it's getting to the point.
Didn't Brian tell his neighbor that he did actually submit his own DNA to a genealogical?
Yeah, I've heard it, but it's not confirmed.
That's a rumor. We can't confirm that. We can only go.
Yeah, I mean,
right?
it was just something one of his neighbors had said he told him. I'd get it's a rumor, but at least it came from a source. You know, the
Well, that
person
would
said,
be
"Yeah,
where
he
the
told me he did
genealogical
that."
tree, though. Wait. The facts would be contradicting that.
Well, that's not
Yeah.
if the. It depends what database they use to act. You know, what database they access. I mean, let's
I
say they
think they
didn't.
would have.
Let's say they didn't go around and use a loophole to get it illegally. Let's say they didn't do that. And let's say Brian's actual DNA was in one of the databases that is privatized, and he obviously opted out of sharing his DNA with law enforcement, and or you know they didn't need to do that. Either way, I mean, they could have gotten to him either way. If the FBI wants to get you, they're going to get you.
Right, but if they would have uploaded that to a genealogical database, right, then and Brian was in it, it would have went to Brian. They wouldn't have had to have. I mean, they could have picked up the ancillary connections along the way, but you would have had, if you had access to his DNA at a database, then their tree would have provided his DNA. It would have been there.
I actually think that's kind of what they're saying happened because we don't know who it connected to.
They claim that the swab confirmed a match.
Right, but we don't know who with. They say they built out a tree from his family, but we don't know. We don't know the truth, and they don't want to tell us. They don't want to turn that over, so we really don't know.
Well, of course not. No.
Hi, Golf.
So that is a great question, War Eagle. What do you think the truth is? What, in your opinion, your thoughts, your feelings? What do you think the truth is?
About what? Everything?
Everything.
I honestly just don't know. This case has me stumped. I guess it's the reason I'm following it the way I am. I just, ever since when he first got arrested, I thought, he did kind of look, creepy. He was looking at the camera.
He looked the part.
He did. I mean, but like, with most people that are in the same boat we are, after the PCA came out and, we read things, things just didn't add up. Things just weren't making sense. And I don't listen to any of the rumors. Like, I know all the stuff that's come out from like Dateline and all these other, they found this, they found that. I just don't take any of that into consideration at all. So, I mean, there's things that don't add up for him not doing it, and there's things that do add up for him doing it.
The scariest thing of the whole thing, and I got to bring this up, is how this is really scary that a police department and the way we shed DNA can pick up DNA anywhere and plant it later on. I mean, do you see where this could go? Do you see what can be happening with this DNA if they allow this touch transfer DNA bullshit? If they want someone bad enough,
do you all know? Yeah. Do you all know that the first place they sent the DNA is to a lab at WSU?
Right.
Yeah. That's
why
I
was going to say. So you got to think about the possible forensic
the contamination.
And that's what I was saying. I said like a month ago, I said, well, I think that WSU and Idaho State, they share labs once in a while. They cross class. You know what I'm saying?
They have to.
Right. And I'm sure Brian Kohlberger has been Washington State University's labs.
Well, I sent Rory to walk through there to see if that lab connected, and I've said for the longest time, those CSI workers had to have been trained somewhere.
Right.
Be at WSU.
Idaho.
Yeah.
And Brian would have been there, of course.
Absolutely. He has access to those labs, all the teaching places everywhere. Yeah.
But how easy would it be if any LE anywhere in this country really decides to go after you? How easy it would be to get DNA and plant it.
Well, I think
that's really scary.
I think one of the reasons that the FBI knocked on Vargas's door is because what she said in her testimony, if you think about it, Think about how many cases could get overturned because of that one issue that she testified to
Right.
about the loopholes and the back doors. And all the
Right.
people that are sitting in prison right now because that was done with their case. That's why the FBI went and knocked on her door.
I'm going to make a point, and it absolutely is not political. The FBI continually takes lying witnesses and puts them under witness protection. In other words, they surround that person from identity disclosure or even exposure to the defense in any way, shape, or form. Okay? And when they do that, which they're asking this state to do for them, the person that's lying is protected. The liar is protected. The criminal is protected. And they're making accusations against others that are untrue. And yet the guy that's making these accusations is the only one that gets protected. And the person that's actually not guilty of anything is the one that's either incarcerated or run through the mud like Brian has been and many others and turned into this horrific murderer for no sound reason other than that's the propaganda being sold.
So Sarge, let's say that you pissed off a cop, which I'm sure you have in your day.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure we both have. And let's say that he fucking follows you and picks up a can, just like you see what I'm saying?
Picks up a cigarette butt that I threw out my
You're
car
right.
window. Yeah.
Exactly. Takes a Q-tip, puts it on a fucking mice sheath, and plants it out of murder.
Yeah.
Tell me that isn't scary.
Wait a minute. What's even worse, Tommy, isn't that at all. It's that any DNA source can be made to look like anybody.
That too. Exactly.
Thing.
Right.
So
exactly.
Collection of
right.
DNA.
Right. That was another point I was going to bring out. Exactly.
That's even more terrifying. That means they don't have to plant it. They just have to have a single source DNA, and they can turn it into anybody in the earth.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Well, look at that video I sent you, Roy. I don't know if you're going to do something on it or not, but did you watch the whole thing?
I did.
Yeah. Then you know what we're talking about on the 34, 35 thing.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, that's scary shit.
Yep.
I mean, there's got to be some regulations on this DNA, or it's going to get out of control. And this case proves it's already out of control.
Yeah, but people have been so brainwashed that DNA is the bullseye every time.
Well, that's it. And
Okay, but DNA does not put him there at a specific time. It just says that his DNA is there. Doesn't mean he was there.
It's part of an awful crucial piece of evidence, though, isn't it?
Exactly. Right. But what time did it get there? What does it mean that it was when he was there? Allegedly? No, we don't know that. There's no time
but it's not hard to make that leap, is it?
What's that?
It's not hard for a juror to make that leap.
No, I understand.
Well, something he touched was there, which doesn't necessarily mean, it doesn't really prove he was there.
Exactly.
It proves something that had his DNA on it was there.
Mm-hmm.
Whether he touched it or not, we don't know.
Well, okay, so that's where the forensic team comes in, or somebody that could have, maybe that knife sheath wasn't even his. Maybe he picked it up at the store, and then the person that came in after him fucking came in and bought it and passed. We don't know. We see, that's the thing. Right. This is the whole problem, is the prosecution does not show their homework of how they got to Brian Koberger.
I think Brian Koberger dropped somebody off over there.
And
yes,
that's why he went up to King Road. And then when he came back down from King Road and he went around the buildings and parked, I think he was waiting for someone to come out of that house.
Yeah,
probably.
That person came out of his car. I don't think he had anything to do with the crime itself or any knowledge of the crime.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I don't think he has anything. I don't think he was there. Obviously, the evidence says he wasn't there. This is my opinion. I can't prove that, but I don't think he was there. That's what the evidence says.
Yeah.
I don't think he was even there. I don't think they actually have his car there.
I don't think they do either.
Because
every car that's shown has tinted windows and a sunroof. He has neither. Exactly.
Yeah, they have a white sedan driving around. They don't have any plates on any cameras at all. Mm-hmm. They can't prove it's his car.
I think everything that you guys are talking about is one of the reasons why he waived his rights to a speedy trial. I think this case, and I think Anne just realized it not that long ago, is so much bigger than Brian Koberger.
Okay,
So
well, what did he say to the cops when he got arrested? I can't wait to be. Oh, no, I can't wait, but I'm eagerly
yeah,
waiting to be exonerated. He
but
knew.
Right.
maybe
Yeah.
even he
Knew.
did not know all the goings in and out and on
Probably
in
know that
this.
much, but yeah.
No, I mean, I'm talking about like what the cops actually do, as far as like how they work cases. And I mean, he could guess, but that's what I'm saying. This is probably so much bigger than Brian Koberger. This is like a world scale
I
thing
would say
playing
so.
out right now. And we're just learning like the ins and outs of the FBI and what they're doing and the wrongdoings. So
Okay,
that's
so
what
you bring up the FBI. What is this
Mhm.
rumor I'm hearing that they went to go talk to Gabriella Vargas and they
It's not a rumor.
intimidated?
It's
Yeah,
not a
Intimidated
rumor.
someone over
it's
here and
called
bullied her?
witness intimidation. They
So they
went
actually
to
Yeah.
did that.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, so what came out in court yesterday was that she got a knock on the door from the FBI, who questioned her, and the things she talked about. She gave away the secret, right? And they
Well, I
did
think
not
the
like
FBI
that.
just gave away their position.
Yeah, so but that's what Anne said, is she got a knock on the door and she was asked about her testimony. That's it. And then Bill Thompson said, well, the reason they went there is because after she put out her testimony, she went on some kind of forum and chit-chatted with other people, and she
Oh,
sort of withdrew her testimony. So she made false testimony, is what Bill Thompson claimed. And Anne
Which
said,
was
well,
bullshit.
then Anne said, if they did that, and if that happened and FBI was there, I just hope they have body cams that they can prove what kind of
exactly.
conversation went on. So that's what I'm saying. This is so much
He,
bigger.
he should
And
have notified the court.
well, that's what she did. She notified the
No,
court
he should have.
yesterday.
Bill should have.
Oh yeah, he
Santa
yeah, he's not
Claus.
gonna exactly, but Anne did. So that's what I'm saying. That's when she realized, shit, this is so much bigger. Is my thinking on this. Is that there's a lot going on that she was maybe not expecting. She did not think that this rabbit hole would go as far as it's going. Like the
And
cover up.
let me just add, this is going to affect other witnesses they may want to call to testify. Nobody wants
Nobody's
to get a
gonna
knock
want
on
to.
their door from the
Well, hell no.
FBI.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. They're setting a precedence to witnesses that would stand up for Koberger, and nobody's gonna do it.
When they come to my house,
Nobody's gonna do it now.
I'll be giving those guys
Exactly.
Bud Light if they showed up at my house. The fag.
And
Yeah.
I'll just say one more thing before I drop out. I do believe that Anne is probably planning to take this DNA stuff all the way to the Supreme Court. I wouldn't be surprised. And I
And she
think that's
should.
another
Well,
reason that she waived the speedy trial.
She
I think
should.
if you read the motion she filed with the court, she touches on points that are significant. Grounds of a biased grand jury. If they all were people from Moscow, that's undeniable. They were biased.
Right.
Inadmissible evidence.
I agree.
Okay, what did they enter as evidence that was inadmissible? I believe it was Brian Koberger's direct DNA, because that direct DNA was picked up only after he was arrested.
Exactly.
Not as part of an evidentiary position for a warrant to arrest, but only after an arrest with warrants. That would make it inadmissible evidence. Lack of sufficient evidence. Phone pings in a blurry car. That's not sufficient evidence to be put in a freaking warrant to arrest somebody for murder. And a prosecutorial misconduct and withholding evidence, exculpatory evidence, Bethany.
Exactly.
Okay?
Exactly.
These are the issues she's going after.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I think she's going to get it done.
I think she's going to get it. I hope she does.
I hope so too, but
That's fair.
I'm afraid that they're relying on these misconceptions a lot. And the public misconception is already there. He's tainted, right? So I'm hoping that people may or may not wake up to a little bit of these misconducts that's been going on.
You know
But-
why? Because that's media too, golf inspector. The
Yeah,
media
yeah.
that's the media that's did that. They've ran
Of
their
course.
mouth because they don't know their ass from a hole in the ground, and their sources are crap. And that's why a lot of people, their minds are tainted. It's because of they're being told stuff that's not even proven,
Yeah, but you know what I think? and I thought this for a long time. Their sources comes from law enforcement. That's
Yeah,
their source.
I
That's
would
who
say
fed
so.
them all
Yeah,
this information, and that's why they were so confident in spreading it. And they just did their
exactly.
bidding. They
Right.
needed this perception of Brian Koberger
Right.
to persuade people that there is no wrongdoing when there is a lot of wrongdoing, and
Right.
that's
Because
what
you
it
They
see
want
boils
that.
to take
down
your
to.
eye off the ball. That's what propaganda is. They're selling
Yeah,
a point of view or a perspective, and they do that by clouding it. And they
yeah.
surround it with horror stories. So you're like, wow, all righty then.
And I
Yeah,
think the
right.
media just they knew what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing. But for them, it's money. Every time Koberger's name is mentioned, the
Oh yeah,
numbers
and
go up, right?
ratings and oh
Yeah,
yeah.
of course. So they did their bidding, but knowing full well what they were doing. So it's done. Like if there's a trial tomorrow with people in Moscow, Idaho, he would go down.
No, he's done
Oh,
He's
definitely.
done.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
right now.
Yeah, and then Rory, you were right. I did. That's how I learned about that. Is I started watching your video, and then I seen where this came up on my Facebook and stuff about what happened here.
Yeah.
And you were right on there. Oh, where was I going? I'm pulling up fucking Dago here. Um, what was it you were saying on your video? By the way, Rory's got a new video out there. If you guys haven't seen it, "Thou Shalt Not Kill True Crime."
It's
Um,
awesome.
it
Yes,
is a good, and
awesome.
it's a very good video. You brought up some good points, which I'm trying to bring up right now, but it's like I got a brain fart.
Well, my main
so-
point was basically like he needs to change the venue because he's not. There's
That's
40
it. That's where I was going. Right.
I was listening to the Walker talk.
the locker talk.
Walkie talkie. Listen, when I was a kid, when I was a kid, I had a step family. They weren't that pleasant. And I wanted walkie talkies. I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And so I asked
those are
my
the shit, dude.
I asked my
Those are awesome.
stepfather if I could have walkie talkies for Christmas. And he looks at me across the room. He said, "Stand up." I go, "What?" He goes, "Come here." And as I'm coming towards him, he goes, "What's your name?" I go, "Tony." He goes, "You can walk, you can talk, you don't need that bullshit. Go sit down," he said.
Hi, Cynthia. Yeah. And we got to welcome in. Don't Drive is here also.
Don't dive. Yep. Yep.
Yep. Don't Dive. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
There is an
I'm
R
not sure
there.
who's there at the bottom, but hello, nice to meet you. How
I
are
have
you?
a little
Right.
accent. I'm from Louisiana.
Louisiana?
I
Okay.
love it.
Right.
I love that
I
Bayou
have an
accent.
accent. Yeah, it's a little Cajun. It's a French Cajun type
Born on the bayou.
accent. So
Oh, I lived in New
Yep,
Orleans.
born
I'm
on the
very
bayou with-
familiar.
Yeah.
with the alligators, I'm probably about an hour and 45 minutes north of New Orleans, kind of
Oh,
closer
cool.
to. I don't know if you ever heard of Lafayette.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
lived in New
um,
Orleans. I lived in
Is
New
that where
Orleans.
Yeah.
LSU is?
Yeah.
LSU?
Well, LSU is in
Baton
Baton
Rouge.
Rouge,
Baton Rouge.
but UL, Louisiana State University, is over here
That's
in
what it is.
Lafayette.
That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, the Raging Cajuns.
The Raging Cajuns. Okay. that's
Right.
it.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
I'm
But,
straight
you know
above
what I
you,
wanna-
1,000 miles.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm in Minnesota.
Oh God, that's a long way. That's a
Right.
long way, Tommy.
Yep.
But yeah, what I wanted to, speaking of touch DNA, what I want to touch on is, okay, when they arrested him, was it the 29th or the 30th of
30th.
December?
30th.
Okay. It was not December. It was
No, it's
December.
December.
It was
November.
December.
It
No.
was December. Okay.
December.
yeah.
Yeah.
For them to have Brian Koberger's DNA on that knife sheath. See, the FBI, they were there like a week before they arrested him. They had been, I heard that, well, yeah, I did hear
Well,
it from
even before
media,
that.
but I also heard it from a lawyer that he had heard, it was a podcast, he had heard that they were they were working with,
Pennsylvania. Police.
Pennsylvania, okay, and they were working with law enforcement over there. They were there a week before Brian Koberger, before they arrested him. So, and then as far as for the trash, couldn't they have got that trash? See, his family lived in a gated community. Well, for it to be legal that trash has to be outside of that gated community. Okay, that's the law that I read. That if they cannot come on your property, even if your trash can is outside of your house, they're not supposed to come and go through your trash
No,
unless it's, no, they're not.
no.
And they have to come outside of that gated community to get that trash.
I-
So therefore,
That's true.
if they went in that trash, okay, and got the So Safe father's DNA, that was illegal. They wasn't supposed to do that. But of course, you know, big shot, hot shots like they think they are. That's to me, that's probably where they transferred.
Yeah.
They got that DNA transferred on that nice sheet.
Can I
me.
just point something out with all due respect?
Go ahead.
That is not accurate when it comes to the police's ability to go through your trash. The Supreme Court ruled as that cops can search and seize abandoned property. In essence, once papers or contraband have been thrown into a trash receptacle, it is considered abandoned. And anyone, including the police, can look through
On their own property? I thought it had to be off the
Sarge,
Actually,
you may want to go back and read Pennsylvania's. You may want to go back and read that because I checked it twice, and it is illegal. It is not for the
You
public
can't do it if
to
it's
go
in your
through.
house.
Okay,
Not
okay,
even
so
law
then you
enforcement.
We're
are-
talking about a gated community. We're talking about a gated
Okay, that's a little
community.
different. That's a little different.
Yep.
It's a
We're talking about a
gated community, Sarge.
That's a little different then. Yeah.
I done checked that out twice to make sure. And it's a gated
I just
community.
say
That means
something?
private.
Once
is
you
private.
dump the let me finish. I'm going to read this. This isn't my opinion. I'm reading this.
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Once you dump the contents of a larger trash bin into the dumpster in your alley, or you place the trash bin where the trash collectors usually come to pick it up, you have taken an affirmative step to abandon that property.
Is that
Once
Pennsylvania?
abandoned- Once abandoned, the officers can search and seize any evidence found in the garbage. So once you put it in your tote, you drag the tote out to the curb, that's abandoned
To the
property.
car, yes, to the curb. Exactly.
Okay?
Yeah, to the curb. Yeah, outside the gate.
Right.
Outside that gated community,
No,
you're
ma'am,
correct.
not unless that's your regular place to put your pickup.
But did you look up gated community law? Is there laws? Because I thought I
Look
read
up
that a couple
Pennsylvania.
months back.
Look up Pennsylvania.
Yeah,
Once you
Pennsylvania's
place
a
it in,
little
let me finish reading this, guys. It's very clear.
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Could be the White House. Once you place the placement of the trash bin where the trash collectors usually come to pick it up, that's all you need to do. It could be a gated community. It could be the White House lawn. If you drag your bin up towards the curb and leave it by the curb, that's then now considered abandoned, whether it's on your property or not, whether it's in a community or not.
All right. Well, then that, okay.
Just be,
I
I'm
thought,
just
I,
Well,
thought
you
I
know
read
what?
something
I'ma
about
check it.
gated communities, but
I'm
Well-
gonna check it a third time because you know what? I would have to say I don't agree, but that's okay.
well, just
I mean,
think about it.
we
You
can
put it in the-
disagree. We can disagree. It doesn't
Well,
matter.
you could disagree with written facts. It's not my opinion. I'm reading you the fact. Once you
Well,
place the
okay,
trash
then.
bin where the trash collectors usually come to pick it up, just listen to that. Once
Okay,
you place your
mhm.
trash in a bin and you bring the bin to where the trash collectors come pick it up, you have taken
Right.
an affirmative step to abandon the property.
Okay, but
As long as it's outside that gate. If it's a gate
so
around
that is-
that community,
that's
as long as
gated
it's
communities are different, yeah.
outside of the gate.
No,
I don't know
but-
about
and-
gated communities though, because
No,
trash pickup don't happen outside the gate.
no,
No,
it does
have-
not.
they have to go inside. Yes.
They have to go inside.
Therefore-
So the disposal must be within the gated community.
Correct.
I don't think anybody takes it outside.
Here's the other thing too. Let me just finish the argument so you guys can understand it easier.
I understand. I thought
I get
I
what you're
read
saying, yeah.
something different about.
All
I
right.
thought I read here a couple months ago or a month and a half ago about gated communities were different in Pennsylvania. I thought I read that.
That would be highly unlikely because let's just say you put your trash in your boss's bin, not your own. Okay.
You abandon that trash into another bin.
Okay.
I can understand that. I mean, I
Now,
can understand.
once you
that.
put anything into a bin and then go through the motions to abandon the property, to leave
Yeah.
it for garbage.
That makes sense.
Okay, wherever that was put, that becomes the cops can go get it. So can your neighbors. Anybody could have walked up to that garbage can and took something out of it. It is not a crime. Whether it's in a gated community or not, it's in a garbage bin. You're going to call the police and say someone just robbed your cat poop? I mean, what are you going to do in a gated community? If you throw cat poop in a bag and you put it out front and you put the bin out by the curb and someone walks up and picks up your cat poop, is that a crime? The answer is no.
Okay.
Same would
Well, let me
apply to
ask you.
would it
No,
be a
but you
crime in
abandoned that
reverse?
cat poop on public property. Okay, so here's the argument: is that street in a gated community private or is it public?
Wouldn't matter. It's the common place to place your trash collection.
No, I didn't, More Eagle. I missed you.
Okay, so I think that's what we're trying to get to is what is
Well,
the
let
actual
me.
constitution
Yeah.
on that?
That is
Well,
based
let
on
me-
a Supreme Court ruling, folks, what I'm reading to you.
No, that's fine. That's fine.
Okay. Well, let me ask you this, Sarge. Okay. For us for the DNA. Okay. For us for that. Could law enforcement have got that DNA, put that on that sheath? Then later on, that's when they got the swab of the DNA from his mouth, right? It was
Yeah, I
after
don't-
that.
But here's the issue. The real issue with the garbage collection is that the DNA collected was not Brian's.
Right.
Therefore,
Fathers.
It was
Therefore,
dad.
let me finish, please. Yes, we all know whose it is. That further confirmed a tip. So that's genealogical work, the
Yep.
father DNA.
Yep.
It further enhances a tip. At that point, you don't go and arrest the guy on a tip based on science. You go and get
Right.
his DNA before you arrest him and then use the direct match.
And
as
they're
your
admitting
basis
it's
to
a
charge
tip.
him.
And they're admitting it's a tip.
Right. That genealogical work is not supposed to be used in courts, trials, or warrants.
Right.
But when they collected the garbage and ended up with his dad's DNA, they may have
Inadmissible
furthered their,
evidence.
they may have furthered their principle that he's the best suspect, but they shouldn't have then arrested him at that moment in time.
Now, would it have been
They should have
lawful?
went and collected his DNA directly.
Was it
That's the
lawful
problem with the DNA.
was it
No.
okay? Let me ask you this: why didn't they get the swab of his mouth?
They did after they arrested
First.
him, but they did it out of order.
After though, after.
Mhm.
Right.
That's the
You see,
objection
that's
he
what I'm
has.
saying.
She's asking why didn't they do the swab? Bring him in and get a swab.
Because they couldn't.
That's what she's asking.
You see,
that
because they
Daniel
could
seemed to
not.
be aware of that. That woman Daniel seemed to be aware of that in the application.
Exactly.
And her statement that if you can approve the warrant without the use of the DNA, that would be fine because we're concerned that somewhere down the road it might be found
Yep.
inadmissible in a court.
Exactly,
Yeah.
Sherlock. Yep. Sherlock's
Yep.
got it right there. Yep.
But
Yeah.
if it got contaminated anywhere, it would have been at the WSU lab. That's
Right.
because that's where
Yeah, that's where they
Cobra
brought the.
worked.
And remember, I
That's-
said that a long
that's
time
what
ago. Remember
Cobra
that,
works.
Rory? Remember that,
Yep.
Rory?
Yep.
I was
I
saying
did.
that a long time ago.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
Yep.
Look,
Sure,
everyone, pretty much everyone on this panel, you know, you can't speak for everyone, but we've all kind of been on it for the last 3 or 4 months. So, you know,
Yeah.
Right.
See, I've been on
I'm
it
I'm just
since
glad
the
that it's
third.
coming to fruition.
Since
that's
the
for sure.
third week. I've been on all of it since the third week that the murder.
Yeah, I mean,
happened.
even longer. I'm sure. Yeah, exactly. So, you know,
Right.
I mean, all the
See,
hard
that's
work.
just like the car.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
just like that picture. You know, the picture that they have that was photoshopped. You can tell.
Oh yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yeah.
Which one are you talking about?
The car going down the street from the gas station.
The gas station photo?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I don't
not,
think
I
that
hope
was
they have.
Photoshop.
Yeah, and first. Oh yeah, it was. If you look at
No,
it, you could tell the road is overlapped on the car. It's overlapped.
Actually,
the
there's something
car
called
should be overlapped.
Yeah, but there's another photo of it. There were 2 photos that were released from the gas station. And that's when the car is a little bit further down the road. But no, I've been going through that car like I've been not just skimming over it. Like I've been investigating that flipping photo forever. And I can tell you, somebody said it had it looked like it was put up on when you change tires and stuff like that. That's some bullshit. That's an optical illusion.
Yeah.
It was going like fast on the road, and
Yeah,
then
that
it
was
looked like it
optical
had
illusion.
snow and everything out there. It did
Right.
not have any snow. That's like the white, of you can tell that's like the pavement on the other side. So no, I can tell you that is not a photoshopped photo. How they got it is weird because how they took that, like they took it off of somebody taking a picture of something, right? So it's not like out the window or anything like that. They took a picture from like a monitor or something. So the other picture that they released is actually straight out from the window. So you can sort of see it, or it's taken from the footage itself. But then the car is further up, the road, so you can see it much better. But
Well,
that one,
let
and
me
I don't
ask
know
you
why they
this.
choose to do that. I think that's
But you,
important to keep in
but
mind.
you know what? You know what? What I don't understand. Wouldn't you think law enforcement? They're law enforcement. Wouldn't you think they would have the video? I'm sure they got that right. The video,
Absolutely,
actually.
they did.
Okay.
They
Well,
did.
then
Yeah.
why would they put? Where did these pictures come from? Where did these pictures come from? Because to me, they wouldn't. They never released a video. Why are they going to release a picture?
Hmm. I don't know if the girl that worked at the gas station reached out to the media and maybe she released that one photo to them or let them come in and take a photo, right?
Yeah.
Because she said she called in a tip, and we know how this works now. It takes them forever to go after anything, right? And then after the media had gone out and said, I think they put it out first, then we saw cops actually go to the gas station. So it was after the fact. So it wasn't like the other way around where the police went in there and then the media came out. No, it was reverse order. So if you remember, if you think back, you saw the police actually go in after the media had released that information. So I
Right.
think she
Right.
she let the media come in and maybe take a picture from the monitor point of view, right? And then she later on, I guess maybe the police or somebody released the other picture, which was when the car was further up the road.
See, but that sounds unprofessional. I
Hmm.
would bet that the law enforcement over here where I live, if I brought that and said, "Look, if y'all gonna if a gas station, from a gas station is gonna call you, you're gonna come. I'm gonna show you on the monitor. Would
Hmm.
y'all do this? Look at this picture real good. Are y'all just gonna do a snapshot?" You know what they would say? No, I don't think so. That's a little bit unprofessional.
Hmm.
No, that doesn't make sense just to do a snapshot picture.
Hmm.
No, to me, they would have the actual video.
Hmm.
That they
Well,
would have the video, but that
well,
picture,
one thing
it
this tells
just
me, though, I understand what you're saying. One thing this tells me, this whole gas station scenario, is that the police was not really interested in it. They weren't going
no,
down that road. They weren't looking for that white Elantra.
That could be right.
And they were
right.
not like they were sort of pressured to show up at that gas station, maybe the next day or after it was released by the media. That's when they went there. So that only tells me that they were not really interested in that. They
But
were
I
Oh
think
not
no.
pursuing
I
it.
think the only thing they really have that I think everything's in the PCA except maybe the that they have, except maybe some shots on video. But it
Mhm.
wouldn't be close by the house. I don't think they got the license plate because I looked at those cameras and I don't think they can pick up the license plate. So
They
they
better
got
have a
this white.
license plate.
They have this car
Mhm.
buzzing around, but I don't think they can prove that it's Kohlberger's. They
I
they
don't
Well,
have
think so either.
Kohlberger. They have Kohlberger leaving his residence, but they lose him for 9 minutes.
mm. They might
Okay.
have his license plate in what is it in Pullman. And the reason I'm saying that is we all know that, and anybody can say anything about that. The camera or the internet went down University of Idaho on that night. We know that. Now the question is, did the police pull their internet resources from the university? If those cameras were they fed via that internet downage, or what I'm talking about?
Yeah, yeah, I know what you're
Yeah.
talking about.
Exactly. So in that case, then the street, those the cameras that are on the road would not be working either that night
True. Oh,
between
that's true.
certain
That's a good
hour.
point.
Right.
Yeah.
That's a good
So
point.
And then they, of course, said, no, we were just updating our website or whatever. They said, I think Crime Sleuth and called them. And of course, they're not going to fess up to having an issue that night. That would be the last thing they're going to do. So I can guarantee you that went down from like, what was it? I can't remember. I went on the Wayback Machine and I looked at it too. And it was like 11, 10, 11. It started
So like
and then
five, wasn't it
Right.
5 in the
yeah,
morning or
something like that. And
Right,
so
Pebbles.
so my question there was like, I wonder if those cameras were coming in via the university internet as well.
Can I just make
Right.
one more comment about that, and I'll put it to rest because Rev is in the chat room having a hard time with this.
Oh, okay.
Any trash
Okay.
in a bin brought to its normal or expected place for garbage collection is now free game for anybody to go through it, be it a homeless man or a cop. If it's in your bin and it's by your garage, in your home, in the backyard, it is not accessible to the police
But
to go
the only
through.
thing with that though is
Okay?
no, a drunk or a homeless person cannot, because nobody's allowed in those gated communities.
I'm just, but gated
know what
or
I mean?
not, if the security guard allows you in as a police officer, or there's no security
right,
guard,
right.
right? And the garbage collection you have evidence in that you pulled out and put by the curb, it is legal.
Right.
If the
And who
police
says
ain't
that they
given
didn't?
access from
And who says
any-
they didn't get permission from the security guard? They
he
might have
doesn't
got
need permission. He
No.
just needs access to the community. And if given access, either the gate is open, the gate was open for him, or the security guard waved him through, any bin at the street, any
Right.
bin could be
I
searched.
doubt it was open at 4 a.m. or whatever the hell time they went in there. But
Well, I don't know what time they went in, but people need to read the law. It's not how we feel or think. The laws are written to limit the actions of our government against us, but there are things that they can do that we should be aware of. So if you're going to commit a crime, don't put garbage in your bin, bring it up to the curb overnight, okay? Leave
No,
the
Sarge,
bin
I
out
ain't
up
gonna
at
do
your house,
that.
right?
Yeah. All right. Well, we cleared up some. I see your point all the way there, Sergeant. I mean, and
Yeah,
I kind of
I
thought
do
that's the
too.
way it is. I just remember. I thought I remember reading something a couple of months back, but that could have been bullshit too. You know what I'm saying? So, if I was going to decide today, I'd probably decide with you because it just makes sense that.
Right.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
And
It does.
look, I'm reading it from a Supreme Court ruling. It's not that so PA can't have a different rule. I
Right.
mean, the Constitution is to limit the government's interaction with the citizenry, not to hurt you or offend you or take your right. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, if the Supreme Court said that the bin at its normal location of collection is so located, then that in fact can be gone through by anybody. Right now, if it was still in his driveway, up by the garage, or wherever they normally kept it, or even if they didn't keep it there normally and brought it to the other side of the house, okay, that they wouldn't be able to go look through the garbage can. You see? Because they have the right to reasonably understand their protection from unlawful search and seizure on their property next to their house. Once it's brought to the curb, that expectation goes away. Your expectation is that bin is going to be picked up and taken away the next morning. So you abandoned it for that ultimate fate. Therefore, the cop can go through it.
Okay, well, let me ask you this. What was the purpose of them going through the trash?
Well, they were looking to confirm their Brian Kohlberger's DNA. They wanted his DNA to test it, which is weird. They came out with only the father's.
See, why they should have just said, "Sir, can I have a swab of your inside of your cheek?
Yeah,
Right.
Can
Yeah,
I
they
can I
could have
just
brought him
swab
in.
your cheek?"
That's
You
I
know?
always thought that. I was always wondered why.
Because
they
then,
didn't
that would
bring
show a
him in,
direct
you know?
match. That would show a direct match.
right.
But to me, it's suspicious for them to go and check with the father's DNA, do the IgG with all of that. Then they come back afterwards and get his cheek. And then, poop, oh, yeah, they say, okay, yes, it's confirmed. It's Brian Kohlberger. It's his DNA. Well, if they wouldn't have did that with the father, been able to do it to get the father's, and just so happened they would have swabbed his cheek and it wouldn't have been a match. That's how I feel. So,
Well, once they confirmed,
I mean, I don't know if y'all
they
picking.
could have obtained search warrants on all of Brian's possessions and places. They didn't have to arrest Brian. They could have kept him under surveillance. Now the father's DNA confirms the genealogical tip. It looks 99% true. So let's now go get a sample of Brian's and test it against
Yeah.
the sample. That's an investigatory process that a tip is for. Now, you know, if somebody's a tipster and they say, I saw Corey, right, committing XYZ crime, they don't just run and arrest Corey unless there's some undeniable fact this person gave. They're going to investigate. They're going to see, is it possible Corey did what this person's saying? And they're going to look at the guy. But
Yeah.
they didn't do that here with Koberger. They used the dad's DNA to write an arrest warrant. They should have used the dad's DNA to get even to impanel a secret grand jury, and the grand jury would then issue investigative warrants. You see, a judge would have kept it sealed. They could have issued sealed warrants, sealed indictments. They didn't do any of that. They just went and charged the guy immediately.
They just, which is really stupid, and they're going to pay for it. In my opinion, they're going to pay for this.
I wonder what they would have did if they would have went. I wonder what they would have did if they would have went to get the father's DNA and turned out his father is not his father. Wouldn't that have shocked them?
Oh God!
Boy, now that would have
That's like
flipped
Maury
them out. They would
Povich.
have
You
said,
are
"Oh,
not the father."
You are not the father.
exactly."
Oh wait,
They
I
would
got
have
to
said,
pull up.
"Oh
Wait, I
shit!"
got, Jerry Springer's
Oh,
backstage. Jerry Springer's backstage.
Well, it's kind of hard because he's dead. But I mean, hey,
Yeah.
all right.
Is Springer gone?
Yeah, dude, he's dead.
I want to just say something a little. It's not out of color at all, but I just want to point out to people I have the same difficulty. Is when I believe something, I have a hard time not fighting for it. Okay, and here's the problem.
We know you, Sarge. We know you.
But no, in the chat room where people are still trying to claim this is a commonwealth. This is that. Listen, you may believe that they didn't have any right to go to that garbage can, and that's a mistake. You should never believe knowledge or data. It's not to be believed. It's to be reviewed, accepted for what it states or what it shows, and then when something else comes up that contradicts or reinforces it, you keep moving forward with the ability to both say, yep, that's the way it is, or nope, guess what? I didn't know that. Look at this. It changes everything. That's how you're supposed to deal with knowledge. Right. Belief is only to be used in religion and spiritual situations where no proof can ever be given, ever. Right. There's no proof God exists that you could go point to. And so that's where you use the power of belief. Belief is that in spite of no evidence at all, you know it's true. But you're not supposed to deal with man's knowledge that way. When a judge or a court or a politician or a detective or a cop, that's just data and information. You're supposed to question it. And if something poses opposition to it, and it's verifiable opposition, you're supposed to then drop what you know and pick up the opposition as the new fact and move forward, right? And we don't seem to most people don't deal with knowledge that way. They get this belief that Brian did it, and they won't let anybody give them a fact that questions it. They refuse to accept it, and they'll come up with all kinds of different reasons why your new fact doesn't mean anything because I believe it. And it gets kind of frustrating when you try to have a conversation where belief overpowers reason.
Yeah, makes sense. It makes sense, Sarge.
You know, they don't teach us school. They really should. You know, everything that science has told us has been disproven. The length of the time of the universe has been around. How fast the speed of light is. Time and space. Right. They're disproving that all. It's not a bad thing. The fact that we even have the ability to know any of this stuff, right or wrong, is incredible. There's no other creature we know of that can do this. We are incredible beings. But we'd be so much more incredible if we didn't retreat into our corners of belief. And we just accepted the information as fact and ran with it until it was countered or reinforced, right? And then who knows? Years down the road, you could find out that those people lied and they supported their lie with more lies and you were spoofed. But you still handled the information as information, not as belief.
Right. All right. So things we've learned tonight is, of course, she filed the dismissal, which I hope happens. And I hope they do a reinvestigation of the whole case. I really wish they would start over. And
Mhm.
So we learned that. We learned about garbage.
Oh, they're
Watch
gonna
where
be
you put
starting
your
over, all
garbage.
right.
All right, right.
Don't
Well-
be trashing me there, Tommy. Don't be
Well,
trashing
now,
me.
don't forget,
That's garbage.
Trashing you.
don't forget that actually so the team, the defense has their own investigation that they're doing.
Of
So
course, of course.
they're actually going through all of it from the beginning.
Good.
Wouldn't
So-
that be something if they actually found the people that did this?
And that's not their job. Like they're
You're
just,
right.
even if they did, they wouldn't be able to use it. They're just there to prove that it's not Brian, right? So
Inspector,
Yeah.
how long have all of us on my channel been saying, "Hey, you guys didn't do your shit right"?
yeah,
You guys didn't,
Right.
like, here it comes, and here it
Yeah.
comes.
Day one, from day one.
Here it comes from day
well,
one.
she's gonna dismiss the death penalty as well. She's gonna want that dismissed as well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to that.
No, like I said in my video today, I highly expect that this man is gonna say bye bye. He's gonna walk
Yep.
because you have nothing, and you
Hi, Deb.
can't prove anything. You can't prove
I
it.
know, but there is still, like, there is a lot of things that needs to happen for that to happen, so to speak.
No, I understand. I understand.
Yeah, so I think
Absolutely.
it's gonna be a little bit of a battle. It's not gonna be
course.
easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a circumstantial case based on very, very weak, if even could be considered evidence.
Exactly.
If you take the DNA away from that probable cause affidavit,
nothing.
you're really,
Stretching.
man, I can't imagine an American getting arrested on phone pings that may or may not be accurate and blurry videos that don't show a damn thing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, if that's the
It's
new standard,
scary.
and then I get arrested for transfer DNA that I could have, been in a Walmart somewhere, and then somebody picked up that knife sheath.
Oh, exactly. That's so
I
scary
mean,
to me.
so you're gonna, like Sarge has been saying for months now, that's gonna be the new precedent. Okay, it doesn't matter.
Yep.
Your DNA's on there, you're screwed.
It's
Yeah.
terrifying.
Yeah. Let's say we trash somebody. We're trashing LE. What if they? You know what I mean?
And look, it's a further
This is what they're
reinforcement
trying to do, set the precedent for
You
anyone.
know?
Yeah, how they're able to get you now. That's
Well,
what
and it's important that they
They
stick
use the
to.
media to destroy these people. That they're going to set a new precedent
Mhm.
and a new low using clown DNA to convict people, right?
Yeah, that's
And they're
right.
using this horrific case to get this to go through. They're convince people that go to the jury, convince Americans that don't look over here. That means nothing. We got a genealogical tree. That means everything. Oh, touch DNA. Don't worry about it.
Right.
DNA,
Well, I
DNA.
think this case might end up bringing all this garbage out.
Yeah.
And if anything, I pray that
Just don't put it on the curb.
You're right.
No, don't put it on the curb. Be careful what you put in it.
Be careful what you
Right.
put in there too. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We live in a very, very precarious time, unfortunately.
Yes, we
Okay.
do.
Well, I'm going to be shutting things down. I
Yeah,
got some
brother.
things to do, so I kind of wanted to jump up here fast and go over that, and I'm glad you guys showed up. That's
Yeah, no worries,
awesome.
man.
And my family showed up out there. All you people are beautiful people. Love you all. And you know what? I had no mods tonight. No
Really?
mods.
You didn't need them. You didn't need
No.
them.
You had
No,
War Eagle.
No mods. No mods
you
at
had-
all. Look
you
at
had War
how
Eagle.
beautiful. Right.
Ask
Look at-
Yeah,
Bad
yeah.
Wolf. Bad
these
Wolf.
people
would
are
you-
beautiful
yeah,
people.
just-
You're all beautiful people out there.
Bad Wolf.
And,
would you please help
you know,
Tommy
well,
out?
An
It's good
elbow.
to have a good discussion without.
Well, we feel the
I
same
thought
way,
you have
Tommy.
elbow.
Yeah.
Don't you have elbow too?
Yeah, I got elbow. I didn't mod anybody. I was just gonna jump on and
No, once you
know.
mod. No, dude. Once you mod. Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
there
once
was
you
mod?
'em, so War Eagle and
Oh,
LB
I didn't know
once
that.
no, dude. Once you mod them, they're mods.
Oh, well, okay, all right. Well, then, Deb got in late though. Deb got in late, and who was my other one? There's one other one out there.
Yeah,
Is
just
it-
put
Elbow.
put
Yeah,
it in
elbow,
chat.
my sweetheart elbow. Right.
On your next live.
So
just
yeah,
put it
there's
in
this
the
two.
chat,
of 'em.
hey,
Right.
whoever wants to moderate, comment in the chat.
I didn't know that once you do it that they're always that way. I thought you had
Yeah,
to do
they're
it
always-
each time.
yeah.
Oh, well, that's cool. That's really cool. Learn, as Benny Hill used to say, learning all the time. Learning all the time.
There you go, boss.
Benny Hill. Where did that
Yeah.
come from? Oh my goodness.
Oh, I used to love that guy. You remember that? He was on that park bench with that other lady there, and he'd go like this and rub her knee. This is a knee, learning all the time, learning all the time. And he kept going up farther and farther like that.
Uh-huh.
Learning all the time.
Imagine doing that today. That show would be
Oh,
so
God.
not aired.
Right. Oh, I
in
loved
this
him.
day and age. Yeah, me too.
Well, good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Good night.
Good
Thank
night,
you for
all.
having me.
You guys
Good night.
are the
Take
best.
care.
Thanks, guys. Sarge, Rory, golf. Don't dive. Thank you.
Kisses, kisses.
All right, take
Yep.
care.
Kisses and hugs. Yep. Thanks.